Our learning target is I can find the intercepts of a graph. All right, so in this first example here, we have a linear function, and we want to find the y-intercept and the x-intercept. So if you'll remember, our y-intercept is where the graph crosses, or where the function crosses that y-axis. So right here, where y equals 3, that is my y-intercept. And if I write that as a coordinate, I would say that my x value is 0 and my y value is 3. So 0, 3 would be my y-intercept. Now my x-intercept is where that function or this line crosses the x-axis. So right here, where x is equal to 2, would be my x-intercept. And when I write that as a coordinate, I put my x value first, followed by my y, which is 0, because I have not gone up or down at all. Remember, when we're writing coordinates, x always comes first, followed by our y. And when we're writing intercepts, my y-intercept, x is always equal to 0, and when I'm finding my x-intercept, my y is always equal to 0, regardless of what type of function I'm looking at. So if I look at the next example here, I have a quadratic function, and I can see I have two intercepts for my x-axis. I notice that I'm going through the x-axis in two separate spots, and I also have a y-intercept. So when I'm writing my answers here, my y-intercept, that's where we cross on the y-axis. So if I look here at my function, I cross right here. It appears to be at about -3 on the y-axis. So when I write that point, I'm going to have 0, -3. And then my x-intercepts, I have two of them. It's going through the x-axis at 2 points. So there's two solutions to this quadratic function. So my first one would be at -3, 0. And then my second coordinate I see is at +1, 0, because I haven't gone up or down at all. And then lastly, we have an example of an exponential function. It's the same concept though. I look for my y-intercept and my x-intercept. So if I look here for my y-intercept, I can see here that it's going through at 0, 1. Notice how all of my y-intercepts, regardless of function, they all have 0 first, because whenever I'm looking for my y-intercept, the value of x is always 0. And then if I look at this function, when I'm looking for an x-intercept, I notice that I'm never actually crossing the x-axis. That's because I have an asymptote right here at the x-axis. Okay, that would be when y is equal to 0. So in this case, I don't have an x-intercept. It never is going to cross through that barrier of the asymptote. All right, so if you need more information on this topic, you can check out the Learning Target spreadsheet for additional resources, videos, and practice.